Hey everyone, welcome to another macro photography video. So as you can maybe tell, the habitat around me and the landscape around me is a little bit different than in all of my other videos. And that's because I'm actually currently in Canada visiting family. And while I was here, I thought it would be cool to do a couple of videos and just show some of the very different sort of kinds of insects and spiders that are around here. And it's always nice shooting macro in different locations because of exactly that. Because all of the subjects that I can find here, all of the insects, are totally different from what I can find in Germany. So it makes for different images, and it's also just nice to kind of discover the different species that are to be found. So I've come out to this location, which is sort of a forested pond area, and not sure yet what'll be around, but let's see what I can find. So I found my first macro subject by this little stony beach. In the grass right next to it, I found a little damselfly. I'm not entirely sure of the species, and generally I'm not that familiar with the species here, but I'll figure it out and put it up on screen after with the pictures. And yeah, I'm just going to try and get a portrait of this. I think it's even covered with a little bit of dew, which will look very nice. And that's the nice thing about being up in early morning, is that dew starts to gather on insects on any kind of surface. So I'm gonna get the damselfly, just find it, get my lighting right, and just go for a little portrait. So after searching for quite a while, right here on the shore in amongst the pickerel weed, I found a dragonfly right here, which appears to have freshly molted. You can tell this with dragonflies because they have quite a pale yellowish green color freshly after molting. This one is staying quite still here, and it's in a very nice spot, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and get a little stack. I think I'm going to go for a wider shot, showing the wings spread out first, because I think that makes for quite a nice composition. Yeah, let me just try that. And now that I've got that, I'm going to go for a bit more of a close portrait. I might need to adjust the settings a little bit, because the closer you are, the darker the image will be. But I think there's a nice spot here. And if I can get a little bit brighter, I think that will be a very nice shot. Now for a final level of this image, I'm actually going to try and change the background, because you saw there that one had quite a dark background. To do this, I'm going to take one of the purple flowers here, the pickerel weed, carefully move that into the background behind the dragonfly. Kind of hold it with my other hand. And I think somewhere about like that, it'll take a bit of maneuvering, and it's generally always a little bit of a challenge, but that'll give this shot just that extra little pop of color, if I can get the framing right. I was actually coming out onto these rocks to look for more dragonflies in the water plants, but instead I've spotted a very small and very, very well camouflaged bug of some sort. I don't really know what it is. I think it's a true bug, but further than that I really have no idea. And it's a little bit fast, but it's stopped in a decent spot here, so I'm going to try and get a top-down shot. And because it's quite well camouflaged, I think this would be a nice shot to just show this camouflage and show how it blends in. For shots like this, I do like to stack, and I actually like to stack it so that the entire frame is in focus, the subject and the surface it's on. So I've got a nice framing here, top down, and I'm just going to move the camera forward towards the surface as I shoot. Now I've got this top-down shot, and that looks very nice. It really does show the camouflage of this species. But just for fun, since it's still staying there, I'm going to try for a portrait. I'm going to try and go for a bit of a low angle. For low angles like this, sometimes I do flip out the screen like this, because then I can go really low down and still see the subject. And yeah, that looks really cool. I honestly have no idea what this is, so I'll try and figure it out and put the name on screen. Let me just get a quick portrait. Now, as you'll have noticed in the top-down stack of that bug just now, stacking like that with that kind of top-down angle so that everything is in focus really does a lot to just bring out the textures of a scene. And I do this quite a lot in winter for things that are under logs, but I think that this scene here, there's a little moth on the rock right here, and I think that that will be a good opportunity for a texture shot like that. So I'm just going to find it and frame it up. My diffuser's fallen off, so I'm going to fix that quickly. That's also something to be aware of, to keep that tight around the lens. But the moth is still there, luckily, so I'll go for another shot, top down like that. And I think that will be quite a nice sort of top-down composition to emphasize the textures. Now again, like with a few other subjects, I'm actually going to get another shot, again a portrait, because there's quite a nice, it's facing away from the, or towards the edge of the rock, which means that I can get quite low down like this. Once I've got my framing, I'm going to take this orange leaf here as well for a background, because otherwise there's just a black background, just to emphasize the color. And right about like that I think will look quite nice, and I'll just get a very quick portrait. So I've been looking around on the rocks in this woodland stream here, and on this one right here, I've actually spotted 2 striped fishing spiders. And these fishing spiders are a very, very pretty looking spider species. And actually, again, they're very well camouflaged on this on the mossy rocks. So again, I'm going to go for a top-down textural shot. This seems to be becoming a bit of a theme in this video. This one's in a really nice spot, and it's so well camouflaged, it blends in amazingly well. So I'm going to go for, first of all, a top-down stack. Now that I've got that, I might actually try for a portrait though. Again, bit of an awkward angle, but I think I can do it. Get a test shot. That looks good. I'm at high magnification for this. And then I'll get a quick stack. Alright, so that was a very nice morning, and I found quite a few cool subjects and just interesting species that I'm not that familiar with, obviously, from Germany, and I think I got some good shots as well. I will try and do a few more videos in Canada, try and film a few more, so you'll be seeing those over the next few weeks. And yeah, for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.